All right, everyone, we're live for the second half of today's podcast, Monday, April 17th, 2023. We actually went pretty long in that recap card, Marcel, but I guess I was fired up with that Ed Herman Zach Cummings fight. Talk about that for a bit. But yeah, we're here, guys, to preview UFC Vegas 71. Always give you two shows Mondays. Every Monday, Marcel. I don't remember last time we took a week off. I don't know if we have in a long time. So looking forward to this, man. Always look forward to Monday evenings with you, Marcel, talk with the UFC card coming up or whatever we have, including Bellator. I actually have two Bellator cards, but we'll briefly do that. Focus on today's podcast. We'll be on UFC Vegas 71, Pavlovich Blaydes. Marcel, I always ask you this, like, what's your overall thoughts on this card? That's like I always ask you before we start the card. So, what do you think, Ben?
I mean, at least the bout order makes sense, in my opinion. I think, less than many people are complaining that Lucindo Walker is on the main card, but I like Lucindo's first fight in the UFC. Was really competitive with Horegi, so I don't mind them putting her on the main card. It looks like a fun fight card. I think there are some fun matches on this card. I would say on paper I would probably give it a 7.5.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I actually kind of feel like last week's card was a little better, but there are some decent cards on this fights on this card. Excuse me. A couple comments. Rate the card. Yeah, I mean, Marcel said, "What did you say? 7.5?" Probably with that. I don't know. We'll see how it ends up being. Maybe it's going to be an 8. Maybe it's going to be a 3. Who knows? What's up, Todd Collectibles? Always good to have you in the chat. What's up, Sinister? Good to have you in the chat, man. Patrick, what's up, man? Adam Marcel like Kobe and Shaq. I mean, dude, I will take the comparison, man, but like, I think we're both like Shaq, though. That's the problem. Like, we're not skinny dudes, man. That's for sure. Rest in peace, Kobe. Good card. Yeah, it's not bad. Make Bilal cut an extra 5 for Gilbert, please, Dana. Oh yeah, it looks like Dana and Gilbert might fight. Is that happening? Do you know? By the way.
You mean Bilal or Gilbert?
Yeah. So Dana and Gilbert.
That would have been fun.
Only in UFC EA Sports, then you could do Dana and Gilbert. But yeah, no, Dana looks ripped these days too. I mean, he may want.
Yeah, got to give it to him.
Yeah. Although Marcel, I don't know if he's going to pass the USADA test. To be fair, I doubt it.
Yeah, true. I don't know, man. I saw like Gilbert was saying like co-main event, and then I don't know where it's like Bilal or the guy doesn't want, or the guy doesn't wants a catch weight. So and Bilal is like, I'm in the Ramadan, and Gilbert is like, yeah, dude, but I have like already had 2 fights this year, and you don't hear me complain. So no, I don't know. The funny thing is both guys are managed by dominance, right? So
right. No, for sure. A couple other comments here. Decent card. Yeah, it's okay. I think it's decent. I'm looking forward to it. What's up, Andrew? He says compared to what's coming down the line, it's 10. Next week's card looks rough right now with like no main event. It looks kind of rough. What's up, Antoine? Yeah, you're always here, man. You're always here for the double podcast. So see if Curry's a future champ. We'll talk about him in a few minutes. Someone said Max will have better resume than Volk because he's BO contenders. Possibly. I mean, Volk's got a fucking great resume too, though. No doubt about it. Never lost a featherweight in the UFC, or even in general, I don't think. Okay, Marcel, let's get into the card, man. Start with the first fight here, Marcel. Again, using the UFC stats bout order, guys. So we're starting the first fight in the bantamweight division. We got Brady Hiestand taking on Batgerel Danaa. I swear to God, they switched around his name on UFC stats, didn't they? Didn't it say Danaa Batgerel first, didn't it?
Yeah, what is it now?
Batgerel Danaa. They switched it around, which maybe is the right way to do it.
Okay, yeah. I also always put Batgerel Danaa. So
but
can be Danaa Batgerel. I don't know.
Anyway, just wanted to point that out because it's not a new fighter. It's the same guy. He's actually favored minus 140. Brady Hiestand plus 120. So what do you think?
Yeah, so we saw Brady Hiestand. He comes from the Ultimate Fighter. Last fight, his second fight in the UFC. He lost his first one against Ricky Turcios, which was the Ultimate Fighter finale with split decision. We saw him against Fernie Garcia. I think he had to struggle early in the fight, but he went through and he used his wrestling in that one. If you look at Batgerel Danaa, he got some fun finishes in the UFC, but when the level of competition got up, he struggled more. Lost to Chris Gutierrez, lost to Kyung Ho Kang. To be really honest, I think I picked Big Brady Hiestand here. I think he out wrestles him and wins the decision.
I'm picking him too. So we got a consensus dog in the first fight, guys, which is interesting. Woof. I'm with you. I just think he's going to take him down and hold him there, kind of like. I know Batgerel's actually got decent takedown defense, but he's been taken down. It's not like it's amazing. It's not amazing. And on the feet, obviously he's got power and he's a good striker, but like I think he's beatable on the feet too. Like he's not old by any means. He's younger than me, so I can't call him old. But like Brady's super young though too. Like he's 23, Marcel. He's still getting better. Obviously he had that long break there, but he had to fight the Fernie Garcia fight. He did get rocked in that fight. I want to say in the first round, But after that, I think you look great mostly with the wrestling and a lot of control time. Let me see how much he had. 9 minutes of control time, guys. That's a lot of control time. When he fought Tercios, he had 7 minutes of control time and he had 6 takedowns. He lost a split decision because I think he got outstruck and it was pretty evident. But yeah, like I think he's a good young fighter, man. I liked him on Contender. I think he's going to do well in the UFC. I got him by decision here, guys. I think he can out wrestle him. So I'm taking Brady Hiestand. We both have the dog Marcel to pick off the card. Joe likes Brady as well. There we go. They should move Boudet and call your main event next week. Nope, no thanks. They do need a main event for that card though. Boudet, Brady's got a good chin. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm pretty sure he got dropped or hurt by Fernie, but overall looked good in that fight. Brady could probably use shots before getting the fight to the ground there. That's what I think too. Yeah, Danaa does have, is it Cejudo that he's training with? Yeah, I know he's training down there. I know he used to be at Jackson Wink too, if I'm not mistaken, right? So I guess he's at was it Fight Ready?
Fight Ready, yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's a good fighter. That's why he's favored here, guys. But I see a path to victory, Marcel. So
that's why he's Fight Ready.
Oh God, I have some having bad jokes. All right, we're good with that fight. Let's move on to the next one here, guys. We got Karine Silva taking on Priscila Cachoeira, UFC Women's Flyweight Division. Odds of this from Marcel. Karine Silva minus 190, Priscila Cachoeira plus 160. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Priscila Cachoeira, Anthony's older sister. She's two wins in her last 2 fights, which she did good against Ariane Lipski. She knocked her out. And the Ji-Young Kim fight was fight of the night, but I think she didn't win that fight, I think Kim clearly actually won that fight. Before that, she had that weird-ass eye gouging against Jillian Robertson. Remember that? Really bad. But she looked better lately, So she's fighting Karine Silva. I think I really like Karine Silva, man. She had some difficulties with that Kihi Young girl in the Contender Series, but she finished her. And she had a good showing against Botelho, where she finished on the first round via Darce choke. The thing is, like, if Cachoeira can knock her out early, or she can hit her early, she can knock her out. But I think Karine Silva is smart and gets it to the ground and wins there. So I'll go with Karine Silva with either a late submission or a decision win.
I completely agree with you on this one too, man. So there we go. 2 straight fights we have the same thoughts on. Yeah, she's a beast. Like, she looked good on the show. She's won like 8 straight fights. All the wins are by finish, or is it 6 straight? I can't remember now. Let me double check. But yeah, it's a lot of wins in a row by stoppage. Like, she's finishing girls on the feet, on the ground. She looks young, dangerous. I'm impressed by her. She actually fought even good competition before she came to the UFC, Marcel. Yeah, she's a 6 straight wins. There was this card back in the day. I just want to pull it up here. XFC International 7 in 2014. And I looked at this card the other day, and like 5 or 6 of the fighters ended up in the UFC on this random like card, Marcel, from Brazil back in the day. You had Alan Nascimento, Carlson Harris, Marina Rose, who beat Karine Silva on this card, Vivian Pereira, Michelle Pereira. Pretty crazy. Like, this, basically like a Brazilian, regional scene card. Like 6 of the fighters went to the UFC. So I just wanted to point that out. For me, Marcel, Priscilla's obviously got power in her hand. She is dangerous. She's looked better lately. Let's give her credit. But man, I think she's beatable on the ground. That's how Valentina beat her. That's how Jillian Robertson beat her. Jillian Robertson, pretty much, did everything right in that fight. Took her to the ground, and she ended up, what was she, like, poking her in the fingers in the eye or something? I can't remember what it was now. What was she doing, Marcel? Or was it?
Yeah, I think Jillian had her on a sort kind of choke as she tried to gouge her in her eye or something to get the choke out.
That's what I think she'll try to do here, because I think Karine Silva gets to the ground, gets the neck, or gets her arm and finishes her by submission. Marcel, I like her in this spot, man. I think minus 190, it's a good line, I think. So I'm taking her, Marcel. Let's get some more comments here, guys. Thoughts on Tim Welsh saying fight ready, kicked out fighter signed Jason Ellis? I didn't know that. Did you know that?
No, and that's a lot of fighters actually, dude, because Korean Zombie was training there.
Oh yeah, that's
right. Christian Rodriguez was training there, and he's now at the Pettis Brothers again, right, at Rufus Sport. He was first Rufus. I think he went to Fight Ready. Now it's Rufus. Who else? Let me think. Jonathan Pierce, but he's not with Jason anymore, I think. So he might be still there. Right. I don't know, man. It's okay. Do you know why, Juani?
Yeah. Anyways, let's get back to the fights. We got Anthony saying he likes to under two. Anthony, I think it's just a finish. Silva, I think so too. Submission. She's a good prospect. I think there's value on her too. You just save the questions to the end, okay? Because we'll take the questions at the end. I want to take your questions, but I want to stick to the card for now. All right, Marcel, let's get to the next fight. This one features pair of featherweight prospects here, Marcel, as Francis the Fire Marshall takes on William Gomis. And the odds for this one have Francis Marshall minus 210, Gomis plus 170. Your turn, Marcel. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with that line, to be really honest, man. I think Francis Marshall has looked good so far in the UFC. Also in the Contender Series, where he got that win over Conor Matthews. He knocked out Marcelo Rojo very violent, you know. If you look at William Gomis, he came from Aris, right? He's from Factory or MMA Factory in Paris. Took that fight against Jarno Aris, my countryman, in September in Paris, which wasn't actually really short notice for him because he was supposed to fight a day earlier in Aris, you know. He won the fight with a lot of wrestling, if I can remember correctly. In the third round, he almost got finished with an armbar late. I like him. He's a good fighter, I think, but I think Francis Marshall is further in his career, in my opinion. And I think Francis Marshall going to win this fight and maybe even gets a finish here. But I go with a little bit of safe pick. I'm taking a decision for Marshall.
I kind of agree on this one too. I mean, listen, they're both pretty talented. Like Gomis not bad at all. He has some more. He actually has almost twice the amount of experience, which is interesting because he's pretty young too. Thought he looked good in his fight. Man, I don't know, man. Maybe he's being overlooked because Francis Marshall looked so outstanding that like you can't pick against him, right? Because he looked great in against Rojo and even in the Conor Matthews fight looked good. He's never lost. Like he's looked great. I'm just saying, like I'm picking him. I do think he wins this fight, Marcel. I'm kind of leaning decision, although I think a knockout's possible, just because man, he just keeps going. But Gomis is good, and he's won like 9 straight fights. He's on a roll himself. Has fought decent competition, you know. He hasn't fought bums. He was fighting guys with winning records coming into the UFC. He might be a little bit underrated coming in this fight, Marcel. It's possible. So I'm picking Marshall though. I have to because the guys look great, so I have to pick him.
Me too.
A couple other comments here. William Gomis for the upset. Yeah, it's possible. It's definitely possible. Oh, Hype likes him too. There we go. I kind of feel like it's a little closer than that too. Cool to see these guys go to Warhead rematch, possibly. They're both so young, right? I agree. Gomis is good level competition. This guy's Marcel. A couple of guys are picking Gomis in the chat. What do you think as a dog? You can't do it.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed in these guys. No, just kidding. Of course, it's possible, you know. But I would lean Marshall. Just being honest, you know. And it's not like when we say like it's going to happen, it's going to happen. No, it can be difficult. But I feel more comfortable in picking Marshall than I pick Gomis.
All right, we got Mohammed Usman taking on Junior Tafa in the UFC heavyweight division. The odds are a pick of minus 110 each. Marcel, flip a coin for this one, eh?
Yeah, pretty much. But although Usman knocked out Brogan last time in the second round, I still don't trust him. You know, I just still don't trust him. It was a good knockout by him. He clearly lost the first round. But man, Junior Tafa, the thing with Junior Tafa has been all the way in glory. I don't know if you follow his career in glory.
Not really, but a little bit. You know, I know
he doesn't take it too serious. You know, it's kickboxing and MMA. Right now, I think he takes a lot more serious. You know, and he looks good. What I've seen from him, man, I think Tafa knocks him out in the first round.
Fair enough. Yeah, for sure. It could go either way. I literally think he should flip a coin, and that's like no idea. And like it's interesting, the line is really shifted towards Usman. Like, kind of strange, right? Like this week, I think there was like a big shift, like in the odds, you know, moving towards his way. Yeah, he was an underdog at the beginning of last week. That's interesting to me. I just want to stay away from him. I'm staying the hell away from it. You know, here's the thing: like this guy just doesn't have much MMA experience. Junior Tafa, like I know he's a good striker, but you know his brother's a decent striker, anyways. Like he's not that great an MMA fighter. I don't know how good this guy's overall game is. Like Usman's very flawed, and I remember when he fought Zach Pauga, like I definitely thought he was going to lose, and he ended up catching him. But he does have almost triple the amount of experience. Basically, he does because he has those exhibition fights on Tough. He's got Usman in his corner, his brother Kamaru, and I mean, Marcel, he has some experience already in the octagon. Tafa only has the 4 fights. Tafa definitely could knock him out. Wouldn't surprise me. I'm staying the fuck away from this fight. No way putting a dime on this fight myself, but I'm picking Usman by knockout, Marcel. I think it's a really toss-up fight, though, personally, guys. I don't know what
funny thing is actually, I'm really convinced Tafa knocks him out. So that's actually funny.
Let's get some comments here. Usman was the underdog now. Exactly. That's interesting, isn't it? Like, is there an injury? Do people know about an injury or something? Kind of weird, right? Unless they just some sharp hit him and they really like him in this fight. That's kind of funny. Junior's a good kickboxer for sure. He is, but like, how's his overall MMA game? Because I think on the wrestling side, I would imagine Usman's better. I know his cardio is not that good. That's the problem, right? Tafa's lost weight against a sumo wrestler. No faith in him. I feel the same way. His striking is definitely good. There's no doubt. I mean, Marcel, like, I'm not saying he can't knock him out. I'm literally saying flip a coin. I have no idea, but I just think Usman could. Like, if I have to pick someone, I'll take the guy with more experience than MMA. The guy with probably a better ground game. That's what I'm going to do. So, because it's MMA. If it's just striking, yeah, no. All right. He's saying Junior had a recent injury. You know about that?
He was supposed to fight. What's the name of the guy again? Who Austin Lane in Australia? Remember?
Oh, really?
And, yeah.
Okay. They pulled him from that, eh? Okay. Yeah. Tafa by knockout plus 135. You wish the number was higher for sure. What is June? What's it? Usman by knockout. Usman by knockout. Oh, it's plus 350. I mean, that's worth a shot in my opinion.
Yeah, was also supposed to fight Waldo. True.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Waldo Costa. Okay. Go to the next fight here, Marcel. The next one we have is Karol Rosa taking on Norma Dumont at women's featherweight 145. Also close odds for this one, Marcel. It's a pick 'em as well, minus 110 each. So, yeah, what do you think about this one, man?
Yeah, man. Karol Rosa against Norma Dumont. Norma Dumont, Laura Sanko's favorite fighter during the weigh-in. And also of many other men. Norma Dumont, I mean...
Dump truck.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but you said it. Yeah, there you go. This fight is at 145, right? Karol Rosa going up in weight. And I think that favors Norma Dumont, dude. Karol Rosa, she won against Lena Landsberg, where it was close. And the Sarah McMahon fight kind of threw me off, dude. I was like, that's not good, And Norma Dumont is like hit or miss, in my opinion. She didn't look great against Danielle Wolf, but she did what she had to do, and she won that fight against a 1-0 fighter. Before that, the Macy Chiasson fight, split decision. I thought she won. She lost a unanimous, but she lost a split.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, she only got finished by Megan Anderson, which don't look really good now. But what Rani says, number one contender fight. Yeah, I'm picking Norma Dumont by a decision, but I'm not sure, man. Can go either way. It's more like I have a fit with Norma, not have to cut too much weight at 145. She's stronger there, I think. Yeah. But we'll see.
Yeah, and there's another line shift, as this guy points out in the chat. I mean, like, it's interesting, right? Although not as drastic as the recent one. Yeah, I mean, I think the odds are right on this one. Another fight I'm interested in betting personally. I have to make a pick. We always do it. I'm going to go with Karol Rosa because I do think on the feet, man, she can really rack up some combinations and outpoint her. I mean, she lands 6 significant strikes per minute compared to 3.5 for Norma. That's a big discrepancy. Also gets hit a lot, so got to be careful because, like you said, Big Norm, right? That's what they call her. She's a big girl. There's no doubt. She's going to be the bigger girl, but I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued by Rosa. I mean, I'm intrigued by the fact they're actually doing this fight, Marcel 145. Like, right? Like, if Rosa wins, Marcel, like if she looks impressive, maybe they bring Amanda back to do this division again. Because there's not many fighters, and I don't know. They kind of if they're going to have this division in the UFC, they should use it more often. Why not use it if you're going to have it? Anyways, I like I said, I think Rosa, the striking, I think like she's going to rack up points and point Norma. But I mean, obviously Norma's got power. She's got a good ground game, and I could be wrong. So I'm going to stay away from it. But I'm going to take Karol by decision. A couple other comments. Yeah, I mean, number one contender fight by default, right?
Definitely.
Rose by decision. It's women. Why not? I Rosa by decision. That's what I think. That's my pick. Again, they are got some power, these girls, so like never know. But yeah, I'm thinking it goes the distance. I think Rosa. What'd you say, Marcel? Dumont by decision? That's your pick?
Yeah, decision. Yeah.
Yeah, the line to go to decision. Actually, they're both plus money to go to decision. So that's
Dumont by dump truck.
Anyways, let's go to the next fight. No comment. All right, the next one.
You started it.
True. Well, Laura started it.
Yeah, true.
Next fight, we got Rani Yahya taking on Montel Jackson at 135 pounds. Bantamweight division.
This is how we do it.
Yeah. Minus 600, plus 450 on Yahya. I mean, do we even have to break this fight down? Like, I don't think Yahya gets the submission, so I think he loses, basically. Like, that's how I look at it. Like, Montel they say Montel Jordan. I'm an idiot. Montel Jackson. I think I did, didn't I? I think I might have, man.
No, you said Jackson, but I was going to say.
Bro, I don't think it's a hard fight to pick. I mean, he's the biggest favorite in the card. He's a beast. I don't understand the matchmaking. Why is he not fighting someone like ranked higher yet? Like, I don't get it. The guy is what, 4 inches taller, 8 inches of reach, 8 years younger, way better striker, way more power, good ground game too. I mean, obviously, y'all got the better submissions, better pure grappling, I guess, but Jack's a good wrestler. He wins, man. He wins the fight. The question is he finish Ron Yahya or not? Yahya, very durable. Hasn't been finished in years. I mean, the last guy to do it was Joseph Benavidez in 2009, I want to say. Holy shit. It's been forever since he got finished. So he's extremely tough. I guess you have to lean a decision, but hey, you know what, man? It'd be a statement if Montel went out there and finished this guy because he's hard to finish. He's a very underrated, tough fighter, Ron Yahya. But I could see this being maybe his last fight in the UFC, especially if he gets finished. I don't know, Marcel. Like, he is a good fighter. He's underrated, but like, is he the kind of fighter UFC wants to roster where like he's just a kind of a grappler that I don't know. Like, he's beating a lot of prospects in the past. I don't know. I don't think this is one he beats though. Maybe so I don't know what his contract situation is like. I'm just saying it could be his last fight. Maybe he's an older guy too. He's 38, right, turning 39. Jackson by, I guess, decision because is tough, but I think Jackson by knockouts potentially there as well. I'm assuming you're picking him too. I mean, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, maybe they give Yahya Cody next. Cody next,
Cody Durden?
Garbrandt.
Oh, Garbrandt. Yeah. They could do that fight. Yeah. Yeah.
So, Montel, I'm picking Montel as well. I think via knockout. And
again, it's been 14 years since he's been knocked out, Marcel. 14 years.
Yeah, but this can happen. Montel has the power, you know what I mean? And if he doesn't walk out to "This is how we do it," I'm gonna be sad,
Is that normally his walkout song? Because it just makes sense. Right?
I have no idea what his walkout song is actually.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dropped Blaydes 4 times and didn't finish him, but he still got power. You're right. I mean, I think a knockout's possible. I'm just saying, like, if you look at Riyad's record, like, he's very tough, dude. He's just a tough guy to finish.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go next right here. We got Ricky Glenn taking on Christos Giagos in the lightweight division. And 2 guys that I think they both fought at featherweight in the past, but now they're at lightweight. And Ricky Glenn minus 175, Christos Giagos plus 145. Go ahead, start this one.
Yeah, so Ricky Glenn. I always have the feeling with Ricky Glenn that he hasn't fought for a long time, and he actually did. The last time he fought was in 2021.
He fought Grant Dawson, right?
Yeah, he did. The majority decision. Draw, yeah.
Yeah.
For that, got a good win over Joaquim Silva very quickly, and before that, he hadn't fought for 3 years, he was away for a long time. Christos Giagos. Christos Giagos is a typical fighter who is like, I think he was twice in the UFC, right? And he's like a fighter. He's not bad, but I don't ever see him getting into the top 15. You know what I mean? Lost his last 2 fights against Arman Tsarukyan and Thiago Moises first round. I mean, those are not bad losses to have,
Yep.
He normally loses to the guys he should lose to, and he wins against the guys he should win against. And Ricky Glenn is typically that guy who's in the middle of that, actually, who I think, like, he is better than the guys he wins against, but he's not particularly worse than the guys he loses against, Yeah, maybe yes, but I'm still taking Ricky Glenn. I'm taking him in decision here.
I'm picking him too, but I actually think he finishes the fight. So I like him. I like him to win inside the distance here, guys. Ricky Glenn, they call him the gladiator for a reason. The guy's really tough. He's like very hard to finish. Never finished in the UFC, obviously. He has some power. He's a pretty good grappler. He's just well-rounded everywhere. And Giagos, I think he's improved since he came back to the UFC, but I still think he's got that quit in him, guys. And he's been finished, 4 times in the UFC. Only, the distance went twice. The one bet I think is being undervalued here is the fight just under 2.5 rounds is plus 140. I think that's a good bet. I think someone gets finished in this fight. I do think Glenn is the one who's going to finish Giagos. I think he's potentially going to knock him out. That's plus 450. Submission is plus 700. I think they're both possible. I really do. I like really got Ricky Glenn. Hey, if he wins the decision, fair enough. But I mean, these are some big numbers on him finishing the fight, guys. And I really do think there's a very good chance of that happening. Because again, Giagos usually loses by stoppage in his losses. That's kind of the way he rolls. So that's what I think happens here. A couple of comments here. Giagos has 4 losses, but all decent names for sure. I mean, Glenn too, right? Like Glenn's pretty good too, man. Like, I guess he lost to Kevin Aguilar. That's not really a good loss to have, but like the other ones aren't too bad, And the Grant Dawson fight was very good for him because he went the distance with like a very good fighter, right? A highly regarded prospect. So that was a good win for him. Shavkat and Tony, I don't think so. That's not real, right, Marcel?
No, it's not. Jesus.
Yeah, no. Stop asking about that stuff. That's fake news, man. No, we'll take comments at the end again.
I will. By the way, about yesterday on Twitter, I gotta say it.
What happened?
Listen, man. People are like posting tweets, fake news, and then crediting me, like I posted. I didn't, And the thing is, like, you can put out fake news on Twitter. I don't mind, you do, but don't do per Big Marcel or by Big. That's just annoying, Listen, man. Yeah. Plus, I got so many notifications in my on my tweets. Like, I don't want them because it's fake, obviously. And people gonna DM me on Instagram and on Twitter. Even people I follow gonna DM me like, "Is this legit?" I have time for it, man. Listen, man. If it's a good question or it's legit, yeah, of course I'll answer. But yeah, I know you're joking, Kwani, but I just have to say it. But yeah, it's just like super annoying. Definitely when you're busy and people asking it, it's like, nah, it's not true. It's like, yeah, but they're crediting you. Yeah, but I didn't post it. Go to my Twitter and you see I haven't said it. And it's not like I post something on my Instagram and I don't post it on Twitter. If you want to find something I post, it's always on Twitter. Not always on Instagram, but it's always on Twitter. So.
Right. No, for sure. You're good about that. But yeah, don't do that to Marcel, guys. Whoever's doing that, don't be like that. Marcel's a good dude. Doesn't deserve that shit. All right, Marcel, let's get to the main card now. I think we just finished the prelims, so let's get to the main card, guys. Starting off the main card, I mean, this is a banger. I love this fight. Fucking awesome fight. We got Jeremiah Wells taking on Matthew Semelsberger, Semi the Jedi. Pick up fight, Marcel, minus 110 each. Let me start on this one, man, because I love this fight. I just love this fight. I think it's an awesome fight. Both guys have looked great in the UFC, especially Wells. I mean, he's looked phenomenal. He is 36, but still seems to be in his prime. He's just dangerous everywhere, man. Ugh. That fight with Court McGee, that was a scary fuck. He puts guys to sleep, Marcel. He's putting them to sleep. Court McGee, Warley Alves, the Blood Diamond fight looked great. I mean, all these fights look great. And again, he's dangerous, man. And Semelsberger's look great too, though. That's the thing, right? Like, he really has for the most part 5-2. Coming off his biggest win yet against Jake Matthews, he looked amazing against Jake Matthews. Like, to me, surprisingly how good. Like, I was surprised how good he looked in that fight.
Me too.
Because Jake was coming off that big win over Andre Fialho. It was a huge win for him. He had some hype. He had way more experience. And then this guy went and dominated him. Had 3 knockdowns. Looked great. Tons of power with him, right? He's got 7 knockdowns in the UFC. That's crazy. No, and he's never been knocked down. So he's got 7. Wells has got 2. Again, Semelsberger actually has more experience, 7 fights in the UFC compared to 3. Overall experience to MMA is kind of similar. They're both dangerous as fuck. Someone's getting finished. I'm pretty sure someone gets finished in this fight. I know that Semelsberger's been going the distance, but I don't see that happening here. Marcel, I like both guys. I mean, they both could finish, but I'm going with Jeremiah Wells because to me, he's looked so amazing in the UFC that I cannot pick against this dude. Like, the power he has and the ground game too. I mean, he's just so dangerous everywhere. Jeremiah Wells by knockout. That's my pick. What do you think, man?
I mean, how should I dare to pick against Jeremiah Wells after that face he made when he knocked out Warley Alves?
Bro, he did the same. I watched the Court McGee fight. He kind of did a similar thing in that. He's so scary, bro. He's a scary guy. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I like what I see so far, man. And the thing is with Semelsberger, he's good as well, but he's hittable, you know what I mean? And with Wells, we haven't seen that really much, in my opinion. Although Wells didn't fight a Chaos Williams, for example, which is also kind of a try to knock you out. Yeah, and Matthew Semelsberger looked really good against Jake Matthews, but I like Wells here as well, dude. I think he can get the stoppage either way, or he gets a decision win. But I'm going with a stoppage win for Jeremiah Wells second round. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think he gets finished too. So it's going to be a good fight. I'm looking forward to this fight, but yeah, man, we both have the same pick here, Marcel. And it's minus 110. I mean, it's interesting, right? It's a pick and fight. All right, couple comments here. I meant to ask this earlier, but do you think Mohammed Usman could make light heavyweight? I like Jeremiah here. Maybe. Yeah, he probably could. I don't think he's a big heavyweight. Scorecards for this fight? I don't know. I mean, maybe. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not that kind of guy that's like, oh, you're wrong. Like, I don't know. Who knows? We're not like Nostradamus, even though we try. But
it's always possible.
The way Welch fights, like, I don't know. I mean, it's possible. It's definitely possible. I mean, like I've seen his older fights where like it was more grappling heavy, but man, the power of these guys, the fucking power, man, it's just to behold, in my opinion. So I'm looking forward to it.
Power. Yeah.
All right. Love Wells. Switching semi knockout in third. That's the other thing. Like, how is his cardio going to hold up Wells later in the fight? Because he does carry muscle. Wells by sub is possible. Definitely possible. Semi cooling down plus Matthews big to me. Yeah, he's good. This is a good fight. This is a good fucking fight. Is it the best fight in the card? I mean, maybe it could be. It's one of the top 3 fights I think on the
It's
card.
up there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good fight. It's just a good fight. All right, let's go to the next one, guys. Young prospect I really like, Yasmin Lucindo Marcel taking on Brogan Walker here in the UFC women's flyweight division, and Lucindo big favorite here, man. Minus 275 plus 225 Brogan Walker. Like, how do you not pick her here, man? How do you not pick her, Marcel? I know she lost that fight to Yasmin Uregi, but very competitive. She looked great. She's so young. She's 21 years old. Tons of experience. She's 18 fights and she's 21. That's insane. So tons of experience. She has, a good record. Like, she's fought good competition. She's very tough, good striker. Brogan Walker, kind of very, that thing that the young people say herself, they call him mid. She's like very mid. Like, that's what she is. She's just like decent. Like, decent striking, decent takedown. Even that's what she showed in the show. Here's the thing: she's also, she's not young. She's actually 34, like just like me, Marcel. So same age as me, 88. The thing is, though, I was decently impressed by the show. I thought she looked pretty good. She also has the Invicta experience, but looking back at this loss to Julianne Miller, now looks fucking terrible, doesn't it? Doesn't it look bad?
Yeah, it does.
She got destroyed, and then Julianne Miller got destroyed by Veronica Hardy. I mean, how can you? I know it's MMA math and matchups, but like these fights were so recent that I think there could be something to take away from it. There's just no way I could pick Brogan Walker in this fight, unless you think that she's the better striker, which is possible. I just don't think so. I think Lucindo is going to be more aggressive. She's going to be faster. She's going to have better cardio, I think, too. I like her by decision, probably. Brogan's pretty tall. I'll take her by decision, but I just think she outstrikes her. What do you think?
I mean, when that fight got announced, I was like, Brogan was first supposed to fight Nali Young, right?
Yeah, and I think she would have won that fight, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
only thing that I can think about is that Brogan might be a little bit stronger because it's at 125 and Iasmin normally fights at 115. But quality-wise and the weight...
Is it? Are you sure it's at one? Oh,
it's 125, yeah.
It says, oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. That's I should have factored that in more. Okay, that makes sense. Sorry guys, I didn't clue in on that. Still doesn't change my pick, but you're right. I mean that is something to keep in mind, Marcel. See, this is why I had to ask you, right? Like, I don't think it changed my pick, but the fact is, yeah, maybe she can like push her against the fence and stuff, like on tough, right? Go ahead, finish it. What you say?
I still pick Lucindo, man.
Yeah.
She really impressed me against Horrego, although she lost. I'm taking her with a decision.
Yeah, but now that you have me all nervous now, man. I don't know if it's someone I really want to bet on anyways, because I think, lines, for women's fights, probably going the distance, like, it gets kind of sketchy. He's actually minus 300 at DraftKings. I'm looking at it right now, but I'm still picking. I mean, how do you not? But the weight class thing is actually interesting, man, now that I think about it. All right. That's 3 opponents, so poor. I mean, 18 fights, though. Like, Glenn, at age 21, what are you expecting, right? Like, what are you really expecting? Go ahead.
That's why I was confused when I said, like, for... who was that? The girl we were talking about last card, 115. We won the matchup. Let me think.
I can't remember. Oh, Denise Gomes or whatever?
Yeah, Denise Gomes. Why I said Jasmine Horegi was it? Yeah. She's at 125. That's because I had this fight on 125 in my head, but Horegi's obviously at 115, so that makes sense,
I think you guys need to update it on your site on Tapology. You have to update it, right?
Is it 115 there?
Yeah,
it's 125.
Yeah, that's what it says UFC stats. I'm looking at it now, so I'm glad we cleared that up. I actually wasn't sure now that I think about it because we have 2 different, a lot of people use Tapology. They would think it's a strawweight, but no, it's a 125 due to the short notice nature of the fight. There's lots of some confusion now, Marcel, here. So it's 125 then?
No, it's 120. The thing is, like, Lucindo was Brogan Walker was supposed to fight. How do you say that? Naliang, right? At 125, and Lucindo was supposed to fight Mali Martinez in this card, at 115. But Brogan took the fight, so it went to 125.
It still doesn't change my pick, but I do think it's the grappling would be a little bit more interesting, I would say. All right, let's go to the next fight, guys. We got okay, this is a good fight. I'm actually really curious to hear your thoughts on this fight. So we got Bobby Green taking on Jared Gordon, Marcel, and I believe this is Bobby Green's retirement fight. Is that correct? Is that correct? I think he's
I'm not sure. He retired so many times already.
Let me double check, but I think he did say this was going to be his retirement fight. Yeah, he confirmed that, but you could change his mind. But yeah, it's you never know with these fighters, right? But yeah, he's supposed to retire after this fight. Bobby Green, a longtime favorite of mine too, in the UFC lightweight division, taking on Jared Gordon here, Marcel. And the odds for this fight have Bobby Green as a decent favorite here, minus 250 and plus 210 of Jared Gordon. You know, listen, Bobby, I'll start this one too, Marcel, if you don't mind. Obviously, like, Bobby Green's a good fighter. He's been in the UFC for a decade now. He's proven he's a great lightweight fighter. You know, great boxing, some of the best. You know, pretty good wrestling, good cardio. Like, he's just well-rounded. He's good. He's tons of experience. He's a good, solid fighter. Also has a lot of losses, though. He's beatable, right? Like, his fight IQ can be a little questionable at times. His striking defense, although he does have good boxing and head movement, he keeps his hands down a lot, and that is dangerous. And you saw what happened against Drew Dober in his last fight, right? I mean, I get it. Dober can knock out anyone, but the fact he got brutally knocked out is a little concerning, for sure. And that's, again, he says he's retiring, so that would make sense. The Makachev fight, I mean, I don't really even take anything away from that, Marcel, because it was like short notice. He just did it for the money, and he wasn't going to win that fight. So you got finished there. The other fights before that, you looked pretty good, right? The Hack Press fight looked good. Against Quinton, the guy who retired, I think, after that fight. He knocked it out, looked good. Fizia fight looked good in a loss. The Moises fight looked decent. Like, he's a good fighter. Like, I get it, right? He is a good fighter. But the thing is, Marcel, I also think he can be beaten, too, right? Because if you look at his UFC record, like, a lot of wins, but a ton of losses too, guys. You know, he's not a guy that's unstoppable. And Jared Gordon here as an underdog is very intriguing to me, man. Again, you know, a guy with, you know, not a perfect record in the UFC, we know that, but the thing about Jared is, like, he's in your face. He's going to be there for the 50 minutes. He's a really good wrestler. His boxing is getting better. He's got a good chin for the most part. He's got good cardio. I think he's a live dog. I really think he's a live dog here, guys. Like, I don't see him as being a plus 210 underdog. I think this fight is much closer, personally. Like, I guess people just think that he's going to be able to take Green down, stays on the feet, and gets boxed up. But I really think Gordon could just press him against the fence, get a couple of takedowns here and there, keep busy, stay active, be more aggressive, be the one moving forward and win this fight. So I don't know what you're thinking, man. I'm going to go with Jared Gordon here. Plus 210 underdog. I'm taking a shot at him, dude. Go ahead.
I think it's very difficult. You know, I think it's really difficult because if you look at Bobby Green, I know he lost his last two fights, including against the champion, but he did very well against Drew Dober until he didn't do anymore. You know, he got knocked out. Bobby Green is such a difficult guy to pick, you know, because sometimes he looks really good, and then the other time it's like, yeah, not really, you know. Jared Gordon, his last fight, he got destroyed by Paddy Pimblett by Barstool Sports. Obviously, he didn't. He should have won that fight, but
I didn't even mention it because it was like clearly a win for him.
Yeah. The thing with Jared Gordon is, man, he got some wins that I didn't expect him to get. Man, for example, the Joe Selecki one, you know, I didn't expect it to. He lost the one to Grant Dawson. It's super difficult, you know. I think Gordon, man, I've been going so back and forth with this fight, man, the whole week, because I think Bobby Green can box him out. At the same time, I think Jared Gordon can also get the win if he fights smart, you know. Split decision, Jared Gordon.
Oh, there we go. Wow. Wasn't sure you're going to think about this one, man. Listen, like, I just think it's good. Okay, well, the other thing is the option is to go to the scorecards. I think this goes to decision, like, every time. You know, minus 275. I'm saying if you guys like, you know, putting those kind of things, distance props, I think this fight goes to distance. There's just really two tough guys. And again, I know Bobby's a game finish, but Gordon's not a knockout guy. Gordon's hard to finish. But I just think Gordon is the pressure, the cardio, the pace is going to be enough to win the fight. So I'll take a shot in the man. I definitely will. Couple comments here. Joe likes Flash too. It's interesting. Juan says, don't overthink it, Adam. Bobby's going to box Jared's head off. Possibly. I mean, very possible. Green. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Green is like, he's like basically a 500 fighter in the UFC. The odds are too high, I think. I really do. Green is tiring the king. Oh, really? I thought he was retiring. I thought he was retiring in general. Though. I could have swore that he said he was going to. I'm pretty sure. He is. Let me double check here. John Morgan had an article yesterday where he said he's retiring. No, wait. Return with a new name, King. I'm so confused right now. No,
Green is just retiring his nickname King. He changed his pronouns as she and her. I'm just kidding.
What the hell? Okay, I want to get this right. So John Morgan interviewed him, and he said, "Here's what it says: Bobby Green faces Gordon on Saturday's event in Vegas, but he insists it will be his last with that label solely as a nickname." I don't really understand. What headline is that? I mean, no offense to those guys, but like that's just a really confusing headline. Like, what does that even mean? Anyways, on Google it says he plans to retire, so that's the other headline. All right, yeah. So we'll see what happens. All right, we'll go to the next fight here, Marcel. We got Brad Tavares taking on Bruno Silva, middleweight division. This is a very middleweight fight, if you ask me. Brad Tavares favored here, as you'd expect, minus 175. Bruno Silva plus 150. Starting this with two. Brad Tavares just very solid fighter, good chin, great cardio, good volume. Just good everywhere, solid everywhere. Been in the UFC for a long time, still tough as hell. Bruno Silva had those nice knockouts, earlier in his UFC career. And then the last couple of fights, I get it. The Pereira fight, I think it looks better on him. The fact it went the distance for sure. It was somewhat competitive, not really, but kind of. But the Mearshart fight looked horrible in that fight. Like, it really turned me off this guy. And the other thing is, like, the Andrew Sanchez fight, he was getting dominated in the wrestling too. And then just kind of his opponent got gassed out, right? I don't really trust this guy, Marcel. Brad Tavares, to me, more solid, more dependable. And what you're getting on him a little bit more with the cardio, especially. Brad is tough as hell, man. He's just a super tough dude. He's always there in the fight. Brad Tavares, I think by decision is the way to go here, personally. That's my pick in this one. What do you think, man?
Yeah, clearly. Brad Tavares also always has a good third round.
Well, actually, only not against Dricus, yeah.
Yeah, only not against Dricus, yeah. But normally he has a good third round,
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, man, Bruno got destroyed by Mearshart at a certain moment in that fight, And I'm not saying that Mearshart is a bad fighter, not at all, but he did look so bad in that fight, And many people are like, yeah, but he went the distance with Pereira. Yeah, but it was also not a great fight, And I mean, Bruno Silva, when he in the UFC, many of his fights, he had a lot of adversity and came back. Also, remember the Wellington Turman fight, he had the same thing in that one.
Yep.
Man, Tavares' decision, have to go.
Yeah, what was the odds on that? Because that's the way I see the fight playing out. Maybe he could finish in the third round too, potentially. I don't see the odds yet, but yeah, that's the way to go, I think. Wait, hold on. The over is actually plus money here. That's a little surprising to me, just because Tavares' durability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, over 2.5 at plus money. I like that bet. I like that one. I never bet anyone who lost to Mearshart. I mean, how can you after Mearshart's last fight, especially like, finds the kill shot? Maybe. I mean, Brad's been knocked out. Overall, it's a good chin. Like Brad, yeah, my decision. That's my pick. All right, Marcel, next one here. Song Yadong taking on Ricky Simone. Odds for this one have Simone favored because he's looked just really good lately. He is minus 145 plus 125. Song Yadong, go ahead.
Yeah, this can go two ways. Yeah, obviously. I think like Song Yadong has to knock him out to win the fight. That's pretty much what I think. I think Simone is better on the ground than Song Yadong. I think he has he will do better over 3 rounds than Song Yadong. I think Song Yadong has the power probably to knock him out, but I don't see it happen. I think Ricky Simone is a smart fighter. I think he takes to the ground. And I'm going to go crazy, dude. I think Ricky Simone submits him in the first round. So,
I mean, he's looked phenomenal, right? Like, yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I like him here too, Marcel. Like, 5 straight wins, finished Jack Shorts, great win, finished the Sunsell. Man, looked great. Like, what's crazy? I still can't believe that fight with Uriah Faber where he got knocked out, Marcel, because that was just so quick. But it just shows you the nature of MMA, right? Where anything can happen. I mean, the guy's looking back at it, man. Look at it, dude. Look at his first 3 fights. Look at his level of competition. He fought Merab in his debut. Then he fought Montel Jackson. Then Hani Yahya. Then Faber. Then fought. Like, that's ridiculous for your first 5 fights, man. And he's only 30, so like that was like when he was in his mid-20s. I mean, the guy's just a good prospect. Here's the thing: saw your dog, same thing. Can say the same thing. 25 years old. He's fought killers, fought Marlon Vera, fought Kyler Phillips, fought Marlon Moraes. Well, Charlotte Marlon Moraes. Corey Sandhagen. And he did well against Sandhagen in his last fight, dude. He did well in that fight, man. I know he lost, but it was competitive. You never know if that cut didn't happen. Who knows? It was a competitive fight. For me, man, I have to go with Simone like you because, like I said, he's looked so good lately. But I think Song Yadong's solid too. You know, he's very good, very good. Like Sandhagen fight, again, TKO lost on paper, but could have easily went the distance. Phillips fight, a lot of people thought he won that fight. Stamen fight, a lot of people thought he won that fight. So he's a good fighter, man. He's solid. He's young. He's improving. And actually, it's interesting, right? Faber is his coach, right? So wonder if he has any, advice for him to get that knockout. But yeah, I still have to go with Mickey, man, because for me, Marcel, when he knocked down Jack Shore and submitted him right away, that was like me. I'm like, okay, this guy's ready for like the big leagues now. You know, like he really is an upper echelon guy, and I believe in him. I think he wins the fight, and the line is low too. So Tyron is back in luck against Alpha Males. There you go. You guys think? Yes, I do think he will fight for the belt one day. What do you think?
Yeah, it's very possible, but bantamweight is stacked, dude. So
it is stacked, but dude, look at his run. Look at his run.
I agree.
It's nice.
I agree.
Like definitely. It's nice. Maybe that Gitano Perello guy's not good, but the other guys were pretty solid. So, anyways, and even Ray Borg. I mean, listen, I know we can say about Ray Borg, but like he out wrestled him in that fight, and that's a good thing to have in your resume. All right, last fight of the night, Marcel. We got the main event. Sergei Pavlovich taking on Curtis Blaydes. I talked about this earlier. Like I get it. Like Pavlovich had that big win over Lewis. He had the big win over. Was it? Who else did he have the win over, Marcel? Tuivasa, yeah. But for me, it's like I still think on paper, like, and not on paper, but just based on principle, Curtis Blaydes to me is like the guy that's like that you have to beat to get to that spot. Because other than Francis and the Derek Lewis fight where he got caught, he's beaten everyone in the UFC. He is the best wrestler in the UFC heavyweight division, arguably. I mean, I guess you could say John Jones now, I guess, but like Curtis, I think, has the record for most takedowns. The odds for this fight, Marcel, Curtis Blaydes -155, Sergei Pavlovich +135. I'm 100% taking Curtis Blaydes in this fight, man. Like I just, unless he gets knocked out in the first round, he wins this fight like every time because Pavlovich just to me very unproven outside that first couple of minutes of the fight. And I still remember his debut with Overeem where he got taken down, got ground and pounded. That's what I think happens here. You know, it's very possible this guy's made those improvements and he goes out there and just destroys Curtis Blaydes and he gets the title shot. I get it. It's heavyweight. We see knockouts all the time that we don't expect to happen, like Chris Barnett against Collier, for instance. Like it happens all the time where, you know, the dog will come back and win the fight. But I think, you know, on skills alone, I just think Blaydes is wrestling, the cardio, the pace, the ground and pound. It's going to be too much. I think Curtis Blaydes wins this fight in like third or fourth round by TKO ground and pound. That's my pick, Marcel. What do you think? What?
Exactly the same.
Curtis
Blaydes, ground and pound, elbows.
Yeah, exactly like the Overeem fight where he just smashed
exactly the same. The thing is, like, if he can make sure he doesn't get knocked out early, you know, I want to see Pavlovich getting into deep waters, you know. And we all know that Curtis can go 5 rounds and he can control people and he can be annoying for his opponents. And I think he will, and I think eventually he gets him down and he will stop him via elbows, TKO, punches, ground and pound. Third round, so yeah, we are the same.
that's funny. Yeah, that's how I think the fight goes. So we'll see what happens. Juan likes Blaydes. When Sergei Pavlovich wins any round 1, I think we'll see round 2. I do. That's why. Yeah, I just think he's gonna get. I just think he's very improving. Like I know he had. I want to say he had one fight in M1 where he did go 5 rounds. Was it M1? What's the guy's name? I gotta say because I remember watching it.
Fight Nights Global.
Oh, yeah, I think it went 5, right? One of the fights.
Yeah.
And he honestly didn't look terrible. Like it was supposed Mikhail Mokhtanin or something. Yeah. That's the guy's name.
Yeah, that's the man of Mokhtanin.
Yeah. Like he honestly didn't look bad in that fight, even when it went late. So and that was 5-6 years ago. So I mean, who knows? But like just the fact he hasn't been past the like 4 minute mark, Marcel. Like I can't bank on him having that cardio past the first. He's definitely dangerous in the first round. Like. If you're going to pick Pavlovich, you might as well take him by knockout. I don't see him winning a decision.
You should pick him by knockout if you pick him, I think.
Yeah. If you bet, especially if you bet him. That's what the duck likes. I don't think Paving is taken down. I mean, if again, first round, it's going to be tough, but after that, he grew his something that's a feet in the spot. Yeah, I hope he doesn't because that's what he did against what's his name, man? Lewis, right? He was actually doing well against Lewis. He was laying some nice kicks. I'm like, man, he looks good. And then bang, goes for the takedown and Lewis catches him. So he should have went for that a lot sooner because it was just Lewis timed up at that point. Yeah, Blaydes by TKO ground and pound. All right, that's interesting. All right, let's go to the next card, Marcel. We're just going to quickly do Bellator, guys, because we went way past the time here.
Yeah, let's just do the main card quickly, picks. Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Do I need to pull it up, or can I just tell you?
Just pull it up. It's fun for people to watch, I think.
Sure. Okay, let's do that. All right, Bellator 294. Just a couple more minutes here, guys, because we went pretty long on that first show. All right, here we go. Is this really the main event? Liz Carmouche and Deanna Bennett too. Oh my god. All right, so this Friday night, Liz Carmouche by decision, or maybe submission, actually. What do you think?
Yeah, Carmouche decision, but she's winning.
Tim Johnson versus Saeed Soma. Who wins?
I think Soma can get the win here, but at the same time, Johnson can too. He's a veteran. Yeah. I don't have a pick, to be really honest.
No pick either. Like confident pick. I'll take the younger fighter, Soma. Arlene Blencow versus Sarah McMahon. Interesting. Her debut.
I think Sarah.
Arlene's pretty tough, man, but she's more of a striker, right? I don't know how her takedown defense is. I'm assuming it's not very good. Sarah McMahon by maybe by submission. Danny Sabatello against Marcus Brando. I don't know who this guy is. He's an LFA guy, right?
He won against Josh Hill.
Yeah. That's right. No, I do remember him. He was in LFA. He did really good. Okay, sorry, my bad. Yeah, he's good too, right? But I think Danny wins.
Then you gonna wrestle, fuck him. Yeah.
Yeah, but this guy's not bad. He's actually not bad.
I know.
Levan Chokelli against Michael Lombardo. Man, Lombardo's not bad either, right? He's another guy that didn't get signed by Contender, but you like him?
True. Yeah.
Achilles Mota, Kenneth Cross. Any thoughts on that one? Achilles Mota?
Yeah,
Kenneth
likely.
Cross too. He's a pretty good prospect, isn't he? Yeah, he's a good prospect, man. He was on Contender. Yep, I remember him now.
He gets
missed
a
weight or something. I can't remember. Yeah,
I think Silo missed weight.
Yeah, Kevin Seiler missed weight and he lost too. I don't know. Achilles Mota's pretty good though, man. I don't know. I like Achilles. He's looked good. All right. Terrell Fortune and this guy Sergei Bilosteny.
Yeah, Terrell better win that fight, dude.
Who is this guy? I don't even know who he is.
He's from ACB.
Oh, he fought Mark Godbeer and knocked out Mark Godbeer. Okay. Doesn't say anything. I don't know. And this guy
he fought for the title in ACB, I think.
Alan Carr. That's another guy who was in PFL. Yeah. Is he good?
He's decent, He got some good wins in ACB, I remember. So he's decent.
Wait, didn't Terrell? You can't take him here, bro. After Terrell got knocked out his last fight, I mean, you can't bet it. I don't think.
Terrell should win. If he doesn't win, he's out of the rankings, in my opinion. So yeah.
You do the rankings. Chris Lencioni, Sunshine. It's Blake Smith. I don't really know.
I like Lencioni actually.
I'm not too familiar with this guy. Yeah, Lencioni's a good grappler. Anthony Sugarfoot Adams against Sharaf
Davlatmuradov.
Is he good?
Yeah, he's also from ACB. Yeah, also good fighter.
Oh, he fought Tukov. Yeah. Okay. So sometimes I don't watch all the Bellator prelims. I remember, he knocked out Brett Cooper. Okay. The Joelton Luderbach guy, he changed his name for his wife's name. That guy. Remember that guy?
Yeah. He also won from Benny Holloway.
Yeah. I think Adams had that big win. Yeah. Khalid versus Taliev. It was a big upset. He was on Contender too. He lost to Impa. I don't know. I don't think I can pick the guy. Yeah, you're right. I'll go with the other guy. What country is that again? That is
Tajikistan, I think.
This is Russia? What the fuck? That's not Russia.
Can you hoover over the flag?
Tajikistan. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know you could. I was looking at here. All right. What's the next one? Oh yeah, Bellator 295. Quickly do this one for you guys.
Yeah, I want to know who you pick in this main event because I have a different pick than almost everybody. So
Patchy mix.
Yeah, you see, I have Rafael stats.
You do? Okay. So, I mean, Rafael's are great, but I just think Patchy, they're both great. Look at the records, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I like both guys a lot.
Such a good fight. Yeah, it's a great fight. I just think Patchy's grappling, man, it's very special. And I think both guys could be in the UFC, but I think Patchy would do really well in the UFC, man.
I think
the grappling. Go ahead.
I think you guys all think the same, man. He's probably good training outside the gym and also at house. So that's why you guys all thinking.
Yeah. No.
Good cardio training.
Look, Antoine likes Stotts too. He's in the chat. He's saying he likes Stotts. So
Antoine, let's go.
You're right. He is training his cardio all the time. There's no doubt about it. With Tatiana.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you got me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got you. All right. Alima Leigh McFarlane against Kana Watanabe. I think Alima. I thought she announced her retirement too, or said she was considering it. Is this her last fight?
Kana's winning that fight, dude.
I think so too, man. I think this is her last fight, right?
I don't know for sure.
think she's talking about that. Hold on, there are odds for this card. Okay, my bad. Main event. Yeah, actually, Stotts is favored, Marcel, minus 140. Mix is a plus 120 dog. I'm taking Mix.
Okay.
Alima, Kana Watanabe's favored, minus 130. Okay.
She should be.
Yeah, Alima is plus 110. Yeah, Watanabe wins. Aaron Pico against James Gonzalez. Wasn't this added on like really short notice?
Yeah, Aaron Pico was supposed to fight
okay.
Someone else. Can you scroll down? Maybe it's there
Sure.
by canceled bouts.
Yep. Otto Rodriguez.
Yeah. Yeah, that dude. Otto Rodriguez dude. Yeah.
I mean, Pico's minus 750 here.
James Gonzalez is the dude who beat Cody Law and he beat Pat Sabatini, man. He broke his arm back then.
Yep. And you said he was going to win in Bellator. I think it was against Cody Law. I think you said, like, there was a few people in the chat that were like, yo, you're writing this guy off too soon. I was, like, completely wrong, obviously. Then, do you think he wins his fight? I think he's got a chance, right?
He's that kind of guy that everybody writes off all the time, but he can get some weird ass wins, out of nowhere. So, listen, Pico normally has to win this fight. Don't get me wrong, but you never know.
Pico's a good fighter, man. Don't get me wrong, but he's lost it. Look at this, minus 700 favorite loss. I understand he got injured, but he lost. He was favored against Borch. Against Corrales, he was a big favorite, minus 600, and against Zach Freeman, I don't know if I think he was favored in that fight too. I'm pretty sure. So. Yeah, I mean, he's good. He's dangerous. He's got great striking, obviously good wrestling background pedigree, but like something doesn't always click with this guy. I don't know, Marcel. Honestly, a plus 475, and it could go up. Maybe you take a shot in the dog here, Marcel. I mean, listen. Sometimes underdogs do win. I don't really predict them that often. These big dogs, but they do win sometimes. And I wouldn't trust Aaron Pico with my money. I get it. He should win. He should be favored, but like he's lost so many times as a big dog. I don't trust him. Ray Borg, Kyoji Horiguchi. Minus 200, Borg plus 200. What do you say?
Listen, man, I like Ray Borg a lot, but I'm not picking him at 125, Why is this by the way, why is this at 125? Kyoji has fought at 135 lately in the UFC. Ray always has problems to make 125. Why not at 135? I don't get it. Plus, there is no flyweight division for man.
Is this the first flyweight fight in Bellator history?
I have no idea.
I'm picking Kyoji Horiguchi.
Yeah, me too.
Mads Burnell, Justin Gonzalez. Burnell, where's the odds on him? Minus 140. Gonzalez.
Yeah, Burnell better wins, man. He really disappointed me against Pedro Carvalho, dude.
I hope he bounces back because I like the guy, but yeah. Yancy Medeiros against Charlie Leary. Oh, that's a fun fight, right? Oh, that's a fun fight because the Leary guy is actually very durable.
True.
Yancy is a minus. Where is he? Sorry, minus 400 favorite. Yeah, he should win. It looks like they put the odds for both the cards together on best fight odds. Sorry, guys. I could have read the odds for the other card because they put them on the same card, but they're different cards. That's stupid. It says Bellator 295, but they have the Bellator 294 odds. Kai Kamaka should win that fight, right?
Yeah.
Well, this one, Sumiko Naba, you like her prospect?
No, Vita's going to win, dude.
Yeah, Vita's tough, man. She's always there, right? So,
look at the level of competition.
I know. She looked good in her last fight with Porto. She looked amazing in that fight. So yeah, it's possible. Bobby King is Elon Cruz. This guy used to be in the UFC, actually. Bobby King's pretty good. He's 40, I think, but he's actually pretty good. 39, but like fought good competition. I think he wins.
True. Yeah.
Is he favored? Is he actually favored for once? Because he never is. Bobby King. It's like it's like a pick him basically. Davon Franklin, you picking, or are you taking this Kasim Eris guy, this German?
Nah, I'm picking Franklin.
Who is this guy?
He's from Germany. He fought at EMC and he fought at Probellum before, I think.
Okay. Netherlands regional look, Marcel.
Yeah. Do you see how he lost his only fight? You should go back.
Chest bite. What the fuck? I gotta see that. Have you seen the fight?
I haven't seen the fight, man.
I gotta check that out. Oh man. Okay. Lara Joanne against Bruno Allen. I don't know. Who are you picking?
It's a little bit low on the card. And I think, man, I got to say this, man. Ilara Joanne won last year against Denise Kielholz, my countrywoman, And she's still ranked under her 3 spots, man. That doesn't make sense,
That's the rankings you got to fix them, man, now that you're doing it,
In my ranking, she's above Denise, but I can't make it happen if other people don't, what I mean? Know. So, and I think she wins against Bruno Allen, although I really like Bruno Allen, but not kind of a fighting perspective, but for other reasons. But I think Ilara wins.
Yeah, me too. All right, and then Alexei Shukrev against Malasaki Hikuri. I don't know this guy. I'm all talked out. I don't even think I pronounced his name properly. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm picking Kikuri here.
Okay, fair enough. All right, I think that's it, Marcel. Finally, did a long card today, guys. This was a long one, but our long podcast. 2.5 hours today. That's a longer than usual. So, anyways, it was a little fun. We'll take a couple more comments, guys, and then I gotta get out of here though because I gotta eat something. I'm starving. When did Patchy start dating Cachoeira? Like probably like a year ago, maybe. I don't know. Mansour does in lightweight Grand Prix. I think he can go far. He's very good. I think Bellator cards have gotten better over time. No, I used to like the old Bellator cards. I like the tournament format that Bjorn had. I liked it, Marcel. I don't know what you
Bellator, where title fights are earned, not given.
Yeah, exactly. Which is how you wanted to be done a flyweight, Bellator, creating. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it because he's a beast. I love Horiguchi, another guy, a lot of respect, right? Like give up his belt. Bellator's not bad. UFC's better though. Thoughts on Luis Firmino? It's not bad, I guess. Hey Gary, what's up? You talking about Gordon? I think he's talking about Gordon. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, that's what I think. We both picked him too, man.
Mm-hmm.
Last year I saw this fight with Justin Gaethje at WSOF. Yeah, he's. Oh man, he's who's he talking about? Gaethje at WSOF.
With the guy with the tail.
Who?
The Peruvian guy.
Luis Firmino. Yeah, the monkey. What's his last name again? The nickname. Oh, the baboon. That baboon. The monkey.
Luis.
Something. It's a different last name, isn't it? You're thinking of someone else.
Oh,
right?
Palomino.
Yeah, that's a different guy. Yeah, I'm confused right now. Yeah. You got me confused. All right, we got to end the podcast. It's too much for us. Appreciate everyone joining us, man. It was a lot of fun today. We did like a long podcast, but it's okay. It's a lot to talk about, and I appreciate you guys sticking around for Bellator preview. If you missed the UFC preview, go back to the beginning and listen to it. Timestamps are already up. I was doing during the show, so if you want to listen to a specific fight, go ahead. Marcel, until next week, my friend. Be back next week, and looking forward to talking about the recap for this card. And next week, there's a card without a main event, so we'll see what happens. We have no idea at this point, but hope you guys enjoy your week. In the meantime, follow me on Twitter at Martin, him, Big Marcel 24, Twitter, Instagram. Marcel, appreciate it as always, man. Love doing this show with you. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night, everyone, and see you next week. Peace and love.
Bye.